If a person cries over little things, it does not mean they are weak. It often means their heart feels deeply, absorbs quietly, and carries more than it shows. Albert Schweitzer once reminded us that the purpose of human life is to serve, to show compassion, and to be willing to help others. The one who cries easily is often the one who cares sincerely. Tears are not a sign of fragility. They are evidence of a sensitive soul that refuses to grow numb in a world that constantly demands hardness. When someone cries over small disappointments, unnoticed words, or simple misunderstandings, it may mean their expectations were pure. They believed in kindness. They trusted in sincerity. They hoped for warmth. And when that hope is slightly shaken, their heart reacts honestly. In a society that praises those who hide their emotions, the one who feels openly is quietly courageous. A person who cries over little things often has a strong memory for feelings. They remember the tone, the pause, the look in your eyes. They sense shifts in energy before words are spoken. Sensitivity is not a defect, it is awareness turned inward. Albert Schweitzer believed that true ethics begin when we recognize the sacredness of every living being. The sensitive person lives close to that sacredness. They respond to subtle changes because they value connection deeply. Sometimes tears come not from the present moment but from accumulated silence. The small thing is only the final drop. Behind it are unspoken struggles, swallowed frustrations, private battles fought without applause. The world sees one tear and judges quickly, but it does not see the thousand silent victories that came before it. The strongest hearts often break quietly and repair themselves without witnesses. If a person cries easily, it may mean they have not allowed pain to harden them. Life has tested them, yet they have chosen softness over bitterness. That choice is strength. It is easier to close the heart than to keep it open. It is easier to laugh at pain than to admit it hurts. The one who cries has chosen honesty over performance. There is wisdom in tears. They cleanse emotions the way rain cleanses the air. After crying, the heart often feels lighter, clearer, more aligned. Tears release tension that words cannot explain. They allow the soul to breathe again. Albert Schweitzer spoke of reverence for life. Perhaps tears are a form of reverence for our own inner life, acknowledging that our feelings matter. The person who cries over small acts of kindness is the same person who cries over small wounds. Their heart responds to everything intensely. They celebrate deeply. They grieve deeply. They love deeply. And that depth is rare. In a world moving at the speed of distraction, depth is a treasure. If someone tears up during a simple song, a quiet goodbye, or a gentle memory, it means they are connected. They are present. They are not numb. Emotional expression is not a lack of control, it is a refusal to suppress truth. Many people build walls to appear strong. The sensitive person builds bridges instead. Crying over little things can also mean the person holds high standards for love and respect. They notice when effort decreases. They feel when sincerity fades. Their tears are not about the small act, they are about the meaning behind it. They value consistency. They value loyalty. They value words that match actions. Albert Schweitzer believed that example is not the main thing in influencing others, it is the only thing. The one who expresses emotion honestly sets an example of authenticity. They teach others that it is safe to feel. They remind the world that strength and softness can coexist. Sometimes a person cries because they have been strong for too long. The small inconvenience becomes the safe outlet for a flood of held-back emotion. We must never judge a tear without knowing its history. A single drop may carry years of endurance. Those who cry easily often have a powerful capacity for empathy. They place themselves in others' situations naturally. They imagine the pain of strangers. They sense injustice sharply. They cannot detach easily from suffering around them. This makes life heavier at times, but it also makes their compassion genuine. A tear is not surrender. It is release. It is the body's way of saying, I feel, and I will not deny it. The world may reward emotional restraint, but true peace comes from emotional honesty. Suppressed feelings do not disappear, they transform into tension, resentment, or coldness. Tears prevent that transformation. If a person cries over little things, it may also mean they trust you enough to be vulnerable. People do not cry where they feel unsafe. Tears appear where the heart believes it will not be mocked. So when someone cries in front of you, understand that it is a sign of trust, not weakness. Life lessons teach us that resilience is not the absence of emotion but the ability to continue despite it. The sensitive person may cry, but they also stand up again. They reflect. They learn. They forgive. Their tears do not stop their progress, they purify their path. Albert Schweitzer devoted his life to service, compassion, and moral courage. He understood that humanity is defined by our capacity to feel for others. The one who cries is often the one who serves quietly, loves sincerely, and forgives repeatedly. Their emotional depth fuels their kindness. When society labels emotional people as fragile, it misunderstands the cost of staying soft. It takes strength to remain kind after disappointment. It takes strength to keep caring after betrayal. It takes strength to allow tears instead of anger. If a person cries over little things, it might mean their inner world is rich. They experience life in color, not in gray. Small gestures touch them. Small words affect them. Small memories stay with them. Their heart is finely tuned, like an instrument that responds to the slightest change in rhythm. We must remember that every personality carries both gift and challenge. Sensitivity can bring pain, but it also brings intuition, creativity, and deep connection. Many artists, leaders, and healers were deeply emotional individuals. Their tears shaped their insight. The lesson is not to suppress tears but to understand them. Ask what they are teaching. Ask what boundary was crossed. Ask what expectation was unmet. Emotional awareness transforms weakness into wisdom. In the end, if a person cries over little things, it often means they still believe in goodness. They still hope. They still care. And in a world that tries to make people indifferent, that belief is powerful. Their tears are not signs of collapse, they are signs of a living heart. True strength is not measured by how little you feel but by how honestly you face what you feel. And sometimes, the bravest thing a person can do is to let a tear fall without shame, knowing that sensitivity is not something to hide but something to honor.